Hello! Happy Friday! From the Branson City RV Park in Branson, Missouri. So I was trying to put a post on earlier, like before I went to work out, to say that I was going to be talking about reading labels today on food. And then I just realized several hours later that I never posted it. So, sorry. So I thought I could use a program that I have on my computer to do a presentation on a Facebook Live to show different labels and how to read them. However, it won't let me do it. So what I'm going to do is talk briefly about a couple things, and then I will film the video from my laptop, and then I will upload it. So it won't be live, but it will be like probably in the next hour, as long as I don't have any technical difficulties, within an hour after this video, so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So first of all, I want to say happy birthday to my dad. It's his birthday today, and he's a good old dude. Love my dad. We're gonna do some stuff tomorrow, and then watch this. I just want to show you this because when I went to go get his birthday present at Menards, I got this new light bulb for my lamp, and I have a remote and I can change the colors. I think it's cool. I know it's dumb, but I thought it was cool. They had like a sale, and then I actually took pictures. There's the white. I think I'll change it. It might be too bright there. There we go. So anyway, hey Heather. Heather, we're going to talk about labels for a second. Oh, so when I was at Menards, I took some pictures of some foods from there, which is weird because they have a grocery section. I don't know if you have a Menards where you are. Heather, I bet you do. I know you do because they had them in Sioux Falls. But our Menards here has like lumber, everything that Lowe's and Home Depot has, and then they have this random food section. So anyway, I took some pictures, and then I took some pictures yesterday while I was on duty, and want to just kind of explain some things on food labels. So the only thing I'm going to talk to you about right now, and then I'll go into the presentation, which the video will be after this when I record it, is what's the difference between organic and what is non-GMO? Well, organic just means that by a national standard, that less than 0.9% of pesticide has been used on your food to protect it during harvest season. That's it. Organic, that's what it is. There's no real, there's so many gray lines in this stuff. There's just so many things, does it mean it's non-GMO? Not necessarily, because you'll see food that says organic. So just remember that it uses very minimal pesticide. And the pesticide it's supposed to use is supposed to be like a natural pesticide. The other one, non-GMO, just means that the seed, the animal, whatever, is like not modified from a laboratory. Not use synthetics to be able to grow it, harvest it, mass produce it, whatever. So that's the difference. It can be kind of confusing, but there is a non-GMO project. And actually, the non-GMO project says that it's 0.9% non-genetically modified. Like 99.1% is not genetically modified, but they still have that little bit of wiggle room to be genetically modified. So it's not even 100% GMO, but it is the best you can get. So is this a bad day for us to try to not be able to eat healthy? Not necessarily. Because here's the deal. Our bodies are made pretty resilient, and we are never going to be 100% perfect on this because, honestly, the sources of our food, unless you can actually go back a million years and know that the seed and the cow and everything else came from the truest of true, it's going to be modified in some form or fashion. But here's the trick. The trick is to use our brain to leverage ourself above the modification. Does that make sense? Meaning we can make and find and dig around and find the better choices of things, and those things will put the teeter-totter in our favor, as opposed to how it is now. Like we just eat, we see things, and we're like, oh, it's healthy. But you got to read between the lines, and you just got to kind of start being a little bit investigator on this stuff, because when it comes down to the food industry, it's like anything else. It's a business. It's a marketing business. End of story, period. If it wasn't, you would not see all of the labels and all the bright things and all these new things that they come out with. So just understand, it's a business as the world we know it, and it's a marketing. It's marketing. It comes down to marketing. So what you got to do is ignore the labels, like the outside labels, and you got to start reading the back. And we got to make the best judgment decisions that we can. And once we can start doing that, you will leverage your body over the problem. It's just that, just because it says organic doesn't mean it's the better one for you. Just because it says non-GMO doesn't mean, that it's organic. I mean, it's just, you got to kind of do these things. So I don't want to be confusing, because this is just going to be a basic baseline of being able to make decisions when you go and get your food. So the presentation, I'm going to show different labels and then show you how you can kind of like say, oh, maybe I need to put that back on the shelf and maybe look at this one. And just understand, you're not going to be 100% because the food isn't 100%. So, like I said, there is wiggle room. They have standards, but those standards are not 100%. They're not 100% complete. But we can leverage our decision making in our food to help us and give us the upper hand on our hormones, on our weight loss, and on our other things. So that is that. I was going to tell you a quick story. I can't say names or anything like that, but I had a patient yesterday. This is funny. I mean, this is just how our city is, I guess, but we were called for 911 for a woman with psych issues. She was in the bariatric clinic. Get this, in the hospital. In the hospital. Why they send us, I don't understand. But anyway, it's not my decision. We go. So we go to the hospital. We go to the bariatric unit, and we have a 49-year-old female, 450 pounds. She's not combative at all. Like, she's like not arguing. She just says, I need help. I need help with my mind. So she's very depressed. We get her in the ambulance, and I hop in there in the medic and the EMT. I knew them pretty good, and there's two other females. So I just kind of hopped down and I started talking to the lady. And as I started discovering and asking her questions, I figured out that she had gastric bypass surgery not quite a month ago. And she was feeling extremely depressed. And she just looked at me and she goes, I'm a happy person, but I don't get this. And she goes, it's like I'm depressed. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And I'm not a depressing person. I'm trying to fix my weight loss. And I explained to her, I said, listen, I said, you're not crazy. So if you're thinking you're crazy, you're not. I said, you're in that age frame. And I don't think anyone's ever explained this to you. And I said, mind you, I'm not a doctor, but I have a master's degree. I study health. I live this out. I see this in the field all the time. What bothers me the most is I can't get to you a lot of times until you call 911 like she did yesterday. And that's if you even can get, someone like me. Most people, it's just like you load and go. You package them, you go. You don't have a time to spend. But I got to spend about 5 minutes with her, and I just explained to her. I said, listen, your hormones have had control over your body for so long. And that control that they had over you and that suppression that the carbohydrates have had on your hormones has absolutely just squashed your hormones. So you have been at the mercy of your own body. You've had no control. So you went and you said, hey, I'm going to take control. So you had a gastric bypass done. And then I asked her what foods the doctor put her on. And basically she's on soft foods like, what'd she say, like fish? Like, I guess maybe she's having to blend her fish or her proteins and stuff. And I said, listen, your body is freaking out because now you've taken the control and you think you're crazy because you don't know what's up or down. It's because she's making her body do what it was originally intended to do, burn the fat, burn the protein, and not let the carbs control everything that goes in and out. And I just looked at her, I go, has anyone ever explained this to you? And she said, no. And I said, when you go and talk to the doctor, I said, just know that you're not crazy. I said, you're going to have to kind of get through this, and it's going to totally I'm not going to lie, it's just going to suck for a little bit. But once you kind of get over that, and I said, there will be a day you will wake up and your mind will be so clear. You'll wake up and you go, I have not thought this clearly or felt this sharp in my mind in so many years. You're going to feel like you're on cloud nine. Just stick it out and trust me, you're going to be okay. And she kind of looked at me and she was kind of teary-eyed because it frustrates me that you go to the doctor and you don't get explained none of this stuff. None of this stuff. I mean, you really got to do your own homework and you really got to do your own due diligence for your own health, because I'm telling you right now, as much as doctors are there to help you, and it's not because they're dumb, they're not dumb, they are not taught. They're not taught. And so you have to be your own advocate. And the other example I'll give you, and then I'll hop off here, is I went to the doctor and, hey, there's my Aunt Leanne. I went to the doctor this week, and not for, I mean, just kind of for a checkup and stuff. And my nurse practitioner, I have another one named Jan. She's funny. So she comes in and she yells at me and she goes, she doesn't like really yell, but she says, Amber, you have the blood pressure of an 80-year-old man. And I said, well, Miss Jan, yeah, it was 180 over 110 when I went in there, but I was a little bit stressed out that morning, and I think I'd gotten off work. I don't remember. And I said, you know what? I've been drinking coffee for 5 hours. So yeah, maybe my blood pressure is 180 over 110. And she's like, you're seriously got to stop that. And I said, listen, I said, I'm going to have a hard time giving up coffee because I love it. But I promise you, when I'm not on coffee, my blood pressure is like so low. Like, are you alive low? And it's funny because this morning, before I got off this shift, we had to go do our health risk assessments. And so we had to fast. And it's so funny because I went in there and these other nurse practitioners took my blood pressure, and it was like 112 over 70 or something. And I said, I'm going to call Jan and tell her, told you, but I know what she's saying. She's saying I need to back off on the coffee and not have my blood pressure that high, you know, for that extended period of time. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you with that story is caffeine, yes, it can bump it up, but really your biggest blood pressure issue is just stress. It's just managing stress, breathing techniques, whatever you got to do to control your environment in a way to bring that down. So just know that, we can do some things. In the meantime, I am going to hop off. I'm going to do this little presentation, and then I'm going to upload it to the Facebook, because it won't let me share my screen, and I can't do it. I'm pretty good with technology, but this one you just flat out can't. Facebook just won't let you. So anyway, that's kind of what we're going to look for, and I will explain in the video more in detail on food items. And I've got 6 of them that I'm going to do. And then if you have any questions, let me know. Tammy Johnson, if you watch this video, send me your taco seasoning recipe, because I want it. You posted it, but when you get time, I know you're busy. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.